We moved here 3 years ago, but it was the first house that we bought. We'd rented previously and we wanted really to get onto the property ladder. We looked around and eventually myself and my wife settled on this property here. It's a 1931, I think it was built in, semi-detached house. It's got a bathroom, 3 bedrooms, 2 reception rooms and a conservatory on the back. We had some damp issues in our son's room, which is the front corner room of the house. Kind of black mould spots on the wall, wallpaper coming away from the wall. And obviously for a 3-4-year-old, not really very nice for him, and also doesn't help towards chest infections, that kind of thing. We noticed the render on the outside of the house was very old, discoloured, didn't look great, and also some quite big cracks around where his room was, but also on other parts of the house as well. It was important for us to have somebody from the company to come out and actually look at the property for us. In this case, Joel came out and gave us his expert advice. We had on the house, I think, a sand and cement render at the time, the one that was cracking, getting pretty old. It was Joel that suggested that we used a Krend render on a house, which is, I think, a silicone-based render, which kind of expands and contracts with the heat. It's waterproof and also gives it the nice kind of pebbled look from the outside, the coarse, matte look to it. For the first week, the guys pretty much took the old render off, hacked the old render off, which was a hard job for them. From what they're saying, a really well baked on render with it being quite old. Once all that was off, it was all layered with kind of like a webbing and plastered. And once that was done around the house, it was then the top coat of the render that went on. They worked hard and they worked long hours. They would tell us, what they were going to do during the day. Joel also formulated a plan during, him coming out, giving us some independent advice. We're glad that we chose cut plastering. Something that we thought might be a really complicated, expensive, long and drawn out process was turned into something that was really manageable. I'd certainly recommend cut plastering. I mean, how the house looked prior to having the work done and how it looks now, it looks like a completely different house. Hopefully this will last for a good 15, 20 years plus. If we ever wanted to sell the house, you or I as a buyer would walk towards a house. The first thing you see is the outside. It's first impressions, isn't it? And certainly that's what we wanted to get with the rendering, against the windows that we've got done. It looks great. It took a couple of weeks to finish, but the hard work that the guys put in and the professionalism was great. I couldn't really fault it.